Hey everyone, Chuck Shumwell, Southgate Ford. I'm coming on today to explain to you a little bit. I get a lot of questions during the weeks, mostly on social media, lease questions and buy questions and what's the benefits of it. But you'll always see me posting the real deal, and I stand by that. And a little bit of my history is that, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. I'm 48 years old, and I don't know much more about the car business. And for about half of that time, I was a sales manager for a couple of stores that specialized in subprime financing, which is for bad credit. So that's where my knowledge from that comes from. But in the crash back in '08 or '09, wherever it was, the lenders and the banks weren't willing to do the risk loans, and so I decided to get back into sales. And when I did, I had to find a dealership that would allow me to work a deal the way I believe that they should be working, the way I trained my team to do it. And my philosophy, with car sales is that I'm not wanting to try to sell you something. I want to try to help you buy something. And that's a different way of looking at it when you have a customer, because you already know what car you want. And I don't have to show you the car and make you drive it before I can go to a manager to get a payment that's not correct. In our area, most of our purchases and leases are based off of a plan program, like an A plan, Z plan, X plan, or GMS or GMO, or option one, option two, whatever they call it at Chrysler and General Motors today. But when I say the real deal is that when I landed at Southgate Ford for almost a year and a half now, they allow me to treat the customer the way I expected for my family would to be treated if I were to go into a dealership. So, what you normally see when you go into a dealership, and it's really a pain that a lot of managers won't give their salesperson a payment until the customer has driven the car and committed to some kind of payment or some kind of price, and they come back and they present it to you, and you say, okay, I'm going to think about it, and there we go. He's off to go get the manager to come in and try to close you down. And then the manager at that time comes and says, what do we got to do during your business, and what if we can make it this price or that price, or give you this or give you that. That's not able to happen on a planned deal. AXZ, any of those employee types or family members or friends and neighbor plan deals. That's not allowed to happen. You're not allowed to charge any more than what's on the invoice. So how does the payment change is what people are wondering. And what happens is that there's a back end profit in a dealership which comes out of the finance office, and those are things like tire care is about $10 and $12 a month. Wear care could be, depending on how long it is, the term is, it could be like another $15 or $20 a month. Life and disability could be another $5 or $10 a month. There's many different products that the dealership makes money on, but are good products, but they should be sold to you and not jammed into your payment. So what happens is that when you are sitting down and you say, I've got the A plan or Z plan, and your salesperson, well, the first thing that tells you, if the salesperson can't give you the payment, there's probably something going on behind the scenes. If he's got to go to the manager, there's probably a reason for that. So they're trying to maximize the gross on every deal, which gross is not a dirty word. Profit is not a dirty word. That's how we all make a living. Even you, no matter what you do, nobody makes a dime until somebody sells something. But I believe in doing it a different way, which I'm taking the hassle out of it. I'm going to give you the payment. I'm going to make sure that if you tell me you have a plan, I'm going to show you the invoice. So what I'm going to try to do here is turn you around, and I hope you can see the computer, and I'll show you how fast it is and how fast it should be when you go into a dealership to get a payment. And what you're going to do is you're going to send me, when I always say send me a VIN number and I'll find the vehicle. If I have a VIN number that's made through Ford, I can find that car no matter where it's at on the planet, and I can get you an invoice. So what I normally would do is I would go to my computer, and I would go on to my Ford website. And I want to show you where the A plan, Z plan, X plan, all the plans make a difference when you're buying, because whether it's lease or buy, it doesn't really matter, because that sale price is going to be determined by your plan. So when you see an invoice, and I hope you can see this and it's not backwards with my phone, but when you see this, if you can see down here, this is your A plan price on a vehicle, on this particular vehicle. This would be a dealer employee price, and this would be a friends and family or friends and neighbor from an X plan. And that's down from what you would normally see on the window sticker. And this one happens to be a 17 Escape, if you can see that. So what I do when you give me a vehicle number, I go directly to my invoice, I bring it up, and then I'll go into what's called my quote detail, and it's just as quick as this. I transfer the invoice over to this screen. I ask you a few questions about how many miles a year you might need. You tell me 12. You've got A plan, and you've got early bird, and maybe your lease renewal, okay, and any money that you decide you want to put down, and then I hit calculate. And what happens from there is that these payments will come up and give you a scenario of all the ways to buy it. So for 36 months to buy this vehicle, the payment is $635, up to 84 months, which is a long time. But to lease it for 2 years, it's $225 or $205. And all of these payments will include taxes. I don't quote any payments plus tax. So when you come to me and say, Chuck, here's the VIN number that I was over at ABC Ford across town, and this is the number they gave me, but the payment kept going down every time I wanted to leave. Well, that's because they're trying to maximize the gross by jamming stuff into your payment. So if you go into the finance office, and you will, if you purchase a car, you will sit down at the finance office, and the finance manager will go over your payments, and then they're going to slide this into you, and they're going to say, you know what? Here's tire care, and here's this care, and here's that care, and you can get all of this stuff for maybe about $7 a month. That doesn't sound too bad, does it, at that point in time? But what you don't know is that stuff is already rolled into the payment that you're getting. It should have been $40 less to begin with. So all they're doing now is they're jacking up the price on the stuff they already got rolled in there and adding another $7 to your payment. You're happy because you got all this stuff for $7. They're happy because they just took you to the bank, okay? And a lot of times people don't even know they got the product, that they just sign here and sign here, okay? So on trade-ins, be careful. Not too many times will a professional used car manager have to call other dealerships to get a price on what they can pay for that vehicle that you want to trade into them. If they've been around long enough, they know what they can buy a car for. They go to the auction and buy cars, and you mean to tell me that the guy's going to go into the auction and stand there in the line in all types of weather, and he can't bid on that car until he calls 5 other Ford dealerships or Chevy dealerships to find out what he can buy that car for? The only time they might do that is when the vehicle is something that they're not going to keep, maybe a model like us being a Ford. We might find a Chevy dealer that's going to buy the car from us if we take it in on trade, so we know what we're going to get for it. Or they're going to call a wholesale person that will buy the car if it's something that's older, like a high mileage car, over 100,000 miles, something that's maybe 10, 12, 15 years old. They want to know what they can get for that car, okay? Salespeople are told and taught to hold on the trade, and what that means is if my used car manager was to give me $5,000 for your trade-in, the dealership is going to hide that from you, and they're going to tell you that you're going to get 42 or 45. And then when you get ready to leave, they've got some ammunition there that they already got that money for you. Everybody's happy, and it's all smoke and mirrors. Okay, when you see me, I take your car over, get it appraised. I slide the appraisal to you. I give you the payment. Everything's out in the open. There's no pressure. There is never going to be a manager that comes out to you and says to you, what will it take for you to buy a car from us today? Okay, I'm the only person you're going to have to see other than the finance manager at our store, because we don't jam payments, and they will tell you the exact price of what they're offering. And again, that is good stuff. Tire care. I see people use tire care on rims and tires all week long. For the $10 or $12 a month that they paid for it, it's a miracle when they blow a tire out or they bend a rim and it's unrepairable, and they got to pay $800 plus for it to be repaired. Wear Care is a great product if you're in a parking lot and you see a lot of dings from doors and shopping carts and stuff like that. But that stuff all should be sold to you. Everything is totally transparent when you come and see me. I do this for a living. This is how I feed my family. So I hope that if you got any questions, and if I'm telling you the truth, when you realize I'm telling you the truth, when you call me with a VIN number and you're at another dealership and you're not locked into that deal, I'd appreciate it if you come see me. So Chuck Shumwell, Southgate Ford, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's so long, 10 minutes, but try to keep it short. And I try to save you some money by telling all the dirty secrets that's out there. But you guys have a great day. God bless. Talk to you soon.